There were certain people you just looked up to, and you said, there goes somebody who really knows how to get things done, who has a great spirit, a great soul, a great intelligence about the work of justice reform, of helping people in dire circumstances. And she had created, with help, Wildcat.
Wildcat was started by a group of businessmen who were hiring ex-offenders to work in their companies.
People respected Amy's judgment, her standing in the world. She was a civic leader of the First Order.
Wildcat believes that people are very redeemable if given a chance, and Wildcat gives them that chance.
When we were contemplating the recipient of the Amalia Betanzos Award this year, Shay is the very first person that came to my mind. I think that this award is for individuals whose life has been committed to a cause, and that cause permeates everything that they do, every job that they have. And isn't that Shay? There's a theme, a thread that runs through his life that is one of integrity, of passion, and of unwavering commitment. And I think Amalia Betanzos would just love Shay.
In 1977, a young Shay Bilchik launched his career as the Assistant State Attorney for the 11th Judicial Circuit of Florida in Miami. He served as a trial lawyer, Juvenile Division Chief, and Chief Assistant for Administration.
Early in my career, I was lucky enough to end up in an office down in Miami-Dade that valued the work in the juvenile justice and child welfare arenas.
Shay is a real Renaissance man, and he really has a deep understanding of this work, and it really is driven by the fact that he cares deeply about children and families.
Anyone that looks at him can see the passion. I mean, it's there. It has permeated his adult life.
He brought in, again, a different perspective, a broader perspective than most people had brought to that position, that you prevented delinquency also by giving young people skills, by making sure they had resources, by building their competencies.
I was really fortunate in my career to have the opportunity to serve as the administrator of the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention. We really embraced a multi-systems perspective, a developmental model before it was really in vogue to say we were engaged in a developmental model.
He reaches out to people, he identifies the issues, he brings the people whom he works with into the decision process so that they are heard. He listens to people in the community, he listens to children in trouble, and he understands and implements solutions based on what the real world is.
We looked at the pathways that young people followed into delinquency. Early signs in education going wrong, child welfare, child maltreatment, abuse and neglect, some of the behavioral health issues, mental health issues, substance abuse. And we brought all those together in one venue and thought about what could we be doing in a comprehensive manner to have an impact at the local level, to really see reductions in juvenile crime, but also improvements in life outcomes for our young people.
Equally as important, and probably maybe as remarkable in terms of systems change, Shay started to focus on the disproportionate confinement of minority young people. And he saw this pattern of inequity, and he was committed to changing that pattern. And I think he raised our collective consciousness.
During my tenure at the Child Welfare League of America, I was really proud to expand the vision of the organization. Clearly, we're a child welfare organization. We're focusing on children and families involved with child maltreatment, abuse and neglect. We also realized that, again, we couldn't do our work in a microcosm, that many of the children involved in child welfare also were involved in juvenile justice.
One of the most impressive things that Shay and his team have accomplished is working with different court systems throughout the United States to really see the youngsters who come before the court as whole people.
You look at his career, and each step in that career was leading to an end game where he could leave his mark.
When I joined the center at Georgetown, we wanted to not just understand the phenomena that kids who are abused and neglected tend to end up in the justice system at higher rates. We wanted to understand why that was happening, and then begin to develop policies and practices that would better address them. So that's what we did in identifying this population that we call crossover youth.
Shay's work in developing a practice model, particularly around crossover youth, and he's done it in other areas, is really transformational.
The crossover youth model is actually an important initiative, important practice for New York City. What the model did for the DOP team, as well as ACS, is strengthen our collaboration. The result is that it is better outcomes for our kids and for our families.
I think Shay's legacy will be that he has played a really transformative role in how the juvenile justice system works for children, that he has really accomplished a mind-changing event.
I think Shay's legacy will be viewed as a trailblazer.
I'm hopeful for the future. I think that we have the knowledge now to be successful. We have the commitment from a broad, wide spectrum of people, conservatives, liberals alike, that understand that we get to better outcomes by being smart about how we do this work. And so I think we're going to be in a good place in juvenile justice in the years to come in this country.